Alright guys, we're going to be doing a complete Lego military vehicle collection video. Now the title is probably going to be World War II vehicle collection, but there's a couple World War I vehicles and a couple Vietnam vehicles and just a little bit of everything. It's basically my whole collection. I took everything off of my shelf here that was military related. I took anything off the Vietnam mock, and we have it here on the center table, and we're going to go one through one and talk about each and every one of these. So I'm really excited about this. Definitely leave a like on the video if you guys like these styles and these collection videos, because I want to do more of them. I'm going to do more on like my minifigure collection for my World War II Army, and this is just the vehicle. So let's go ahead and start. Let's go to just to the back left. So this one is actually, let me back up for a second. I'm going to put links to review videos, all the individual videos in the description, because I'm pretty sure I have reviewed every single one of these vehicles on this table in its own separate video. So if you want an up-close personal video on each one showing kind of more detailed what the kit is, I'll put links to that in the description. But let's go ahead and start off in the back left here. This is It's a Battlefield 4 Russian 9K22 tungsten, I believe it is, tungsta. And this is actually a anti-aircraft gun that's mounted on a tank chassis. And it's got two, I believe they're like 20mm machine guns, but I think actually in Battlefield there's actually 4, so 2 and 2. But this is a really cool vehicle. This is actually on my website right now. I'm selling this one off, so I'll put a link to that in the description. I thought I'd throw that out there. I'm just trying to make room for some new kits and get some more money for some new projects that I've been working on. But this is a really cool, it's a modern military Russian anti-aircraft gun. Really cool. I love using that when I play Battlefield 4. Next up, we've got another modern military. I think this is the only 2 modern military vehicles in this lineup, but this is just a generic Humvee in dark bluish gray. I'd love to make this one a kit someday. I know a lot of you guys have been telling me to make it as the wheel falls off. You know, the design's in progress, but basically it's just a generic Humvee. It's got the bulletproof glass. It's got doors that actually open, and then you got a 50 cal machine gun up here with a support gunner. So this is really cool. Generic Humvee look. Obviously the wheel design needs improvement, but that is the Humvee. Like I said, I want to make that a kit someday, so definitely look out for that. Next up, we've got a World War II Sherman tank. This is an American tank here. This is the amphibious version. Now, don't quote me on this because I'm not an expert on tanks, but this is the exhaust because the engine's in the back. So the exhaust has larger tailpipes that go straight up versus straight out the back. And this allows the tank to actually go into deeper water, because if you guys know, with cars or engines, anything mechanical like that, if you get water in the system, especially through the exhaust, and clog that up, the whole system will cease and will fail. So this is why the exhausts are so tall. I mean, they're taller than the turret. I mean, I don't know in real life if the gun could actually move 360 degrees because it might risk hitting this, but they're just up there really tall, so the engine can still blow out exhaust fumes even if it's, let's say, in 2 feet or 5 feet deep of water. So this is a really cool tank. It's a really bulky tank. You can see the wheels down there. Works really well. I use this on my D-Day mock. I'm trying to think if I use this on anything else. I think it was just on my D-Day mock. It worked great for that because it was an amphibious landing. So this is a really cool tank, really beefy, but looks really cool. Next up, we got an M18 Hellcat. I believe it's an M18, but I know it's a Hellcat. This is a really cool tank. It's a really slim tank. From what I know from my history, it was a World War II late war, like 1944 to 45 tank destroyer. It wasn't really a tank. It was more of a tank destroyer, hence the longer barrel gun to get higher velocity of the rounds, and then the open top so the crew members could actually see what they're doing a little bit better. From what I remember also, it's actually a very fast tank, hence kind of it's a low profile, sleek design, pretty fast. They're starting to develop more of the curved armor on the front, and like I said, just a longer barrel to get those higher velocity rounds through other tanks. I think this was mainly going up against like the Panther tanks and whatnot. So really cool tank, really like this one. This was actually my first Lego tank kit, so that's pretty cool. Little piece of history for the the YouTube channel being Clone Trooper X39. Next up, we got an M3 Stuart tank. This is a really cool American light tank from World War II. So a lot of guns on this. We've got a Browning, we've got a main gun, 2 more machine guns there. So this thing has a bunch of different weapons on it. We've got a cool American flag, really cool design. Like I said, very short and stubby tank, but these things were pretty fast from what I remember reading about. And this is another kit that I actually own the design rights to this, so this would be another kit in the future potentially. So I'm curious to see if you guys won't want that. I would simplify the design a little bit just for cost savings, but curious to see what you guys think of that. Really cool little tank. Moving on, we have a German. This is a World War I tank, actually. This is an A7V, I believe it is. This is from Battlefield 1. If you guys remember, I did this huge mock on the Sinai Desert. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. I actually had 2 of these. I sold one of them off, but I decided to keep one. So this is a really cool tank. This is one of the first tanks ever developed in World War I. So very weird looking tank, basically just an armored box that they put some machine guns and larger cannons on. Really interesting design, really fun to play with, you know, in Battlefield 1, the video game. Just a really interesting tank. That's kind of why I wanted to keep this one, simply because, you know, you can talk about the history behind it if people ask, oh, what's that? So that's kind of why I decided to keep that. Moving on, once again, we got a couple Vietnam things I stole from the Vietnam mock series. This is just a generic Huey helicopter. This was another one of my first kits. Really basic, but it gets the job done. Everyone knows what a Huey looks like and sounds like, so I got to keep that one around. Next up, we got one of my other favorites, a deuce-and-a-half truck. This is a really cool truck here. We actually got a figure in there poking his head out. So, you know, nothing too special about this. I actually had a friend of mine that had one of these. His dad actually had a deuce-and-a-half, and I drove around in one. So they're huge in person. They're giant trucks, really cool for supplies and stuff like that. But yeah, moving on. Got a couple wheelies Jeeps. These are the covered versions, so they got the canvas tops that actually go around to the back. Got the spare tire in the back. 2 of these, they're exactly the same. These will definitely be used in my Vietnam mock. Pretty much all these will be used in my Vietnam mock. Another thing, this is my version of a wheelies Jeep, just a very slim, basic design. This is actually a kit on my website. I just restocked it. I made 50 of them. If you guys want to check them out, they're $30 a piece. I'll put a link in the description to this cool little kit. I think it's like 130 pieces total. So for $30, that's a pretty good deal. So check it out on my website, BrickTactical.com. I'll put a link to that in the description. This isn't really a military kit, but I figured it's not like Halo, so I might as well throw it in here. This is just like a generic little car, like a Dacia from PUBG. Decided to throw it on there. This will be in the Vietnam mock for sure. Let's go ahead and cut down to this side again, and we'll do another round. So this is actually I believe it's a World War II German flat gun of some kind. I don't know the exact name of it, but a fan actually gave this to me at a Lego convention. I can't remember your name, so I'm sorry about that, but thank you to whoever gave this to me. So I decided to include this in the video. Next up, we've got the Panzerjäger 2, I believe it is, or 1. This was a kit that my friend and my, let's see, no, it's just me and Elliot. Yeah, so my friend Elliot, or Lego Guy 830 here on YouTube, he's no longer really active, but definitely go check out his channel for his older videos. We sat down and we built this, and I actually made this a kit. So I used to sell this on my website. It's still on my website. It's just marked as sold out. So if you guys want to go see cool pictures of it, you can go over there to BrickTactical.com. But this is one thing I've been talking about in some of my Instagram videos is, do you guys want me to restock this? Because it's been a while. I think I made, I want to say 20 of these originally, and I only sold them for $95 a piece, which is a great deal for a fully custom kit like this, especially being a tank. Really good deal. So I might bring those back. I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments down below. But it's a really cool little tank. It's got all the little details that you would expect from something that Elliot helps me design. He is so detail oriented. So turned out really good. Really happy with this. This is one of the original ones, so I decided to keep that around. Moving on, we've got a little howitzer. This is from Vietnam, I believe. This will also be in my Vietnam mock. I believe a fan actually gave this to me as well, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you to whoever gave this to me. And once again, that'll be in the Vietnam, video. Nothing too much, special about it. It's just a cool howitzer for an artillery team. Moving up, we've got 2 universal carriers. These are actually both for sale on my website. Once again, links to that in the description. This is a dark bluish gray version of it. So these are British, like Bren carriers, as they call them, because they had a Bren gun at the front. So you could fit a gunner, a driver, and then like you know, normally I think I can fit 4 or 5 Lego figures in here, but you could probably fit more soldiers in real life in the back. So just cool little support vehicles that would cruise around the battlefield, dropping troops off, dropping supplies off. And then this one's more of the desert scheme in all tan, which this is actually another one of my first kits. So that's really cool. I even added the duffel bag tiles on the back there. Those are my own products, just to add a little bit more detail. So little things like that add a lot of detail. So once again, these two are on my website for sale. Moving up, this is probably one of my favorite kits, and I know a lot of you guys on the channel have been begging me, Peyton, please make this a kit. One day, I promise one day this will be a kit. This is a Shinhodo Japanese Type 93 tank, I believe it is. Maybe not Type 93, 94, but this is a fully camo Shinhodo tank, which is so cool. This was another one that my friend Elliot actually designed from scratch, and I think he gave me the instructions, and I sat down for one day, and it took me literally all day of looking through my Lego collection for each and one of these pieces in these different colors because I wanted the camo scheme. So really cool tank. I did a full video on this. That's definitely worth watching. Super cool. I'd love to make this a kit one day. It'd just be super expensive because some of these parts are really pricey, especially green parts. You wouldn't think green would be expensive, but some green parts are kind of pricey. So once again, really cool video, or not video, really cool tank. Definitely check out the specific video on this. Link in the description. Next up, these are two more of some of my first kits I got. This is a German Wesp. This is kind of, I don't remember too much of the history, but it's not a tank. It's more of a tank destroyer or howitzer, I believe it would be called. So you got kind of a shielded area back here. You could put your troops back here. They got their howitzer. You got like a shovel, you got a horn actually, a little hatch down there. I added one of my German cross tiles for a little bit of detail. This is also on my website if I'm not mistaken. So really cool German tank, kind of a, not a light tank, but not a heavy tank. So I would say like a medium tank. Like I said, more of a tank destroyer. Moving on here, we've got just a generic German Kuba wagon, I believe it is how you pronounce that. And this is a really cool, solid little vehicle. If you want something for your German officers to cruise around the battlefield, that's definitely a good option. And it's just basic and it just looks good. Now let's move up to this big boy right here. This is the Mark V tank, or Mark IV, I don't really remember. This was in my Sinai Desert video. So the story behind this is I needed a World War I tank of some kind, and I was like, you know, World War I British to be more specific, and I was like, what should I build? And I was like, let's go old school, because we went old school with the A7V for the German side. Let's go old school with the British. This is like one of the first tanks ever developed during World War I. This is like, when you type in like first tank on Google Images, you're going to see something that's got this profile. It's such an interesting design, and that's what's so cool about old school military vehicles, is just seeing how they thought of things back then. And then you compare this to like an Abrams tank in today's battlefield. So really cool track designs going over the top. Once again, machine guns on all sides, larger cannons. You got kind of the viewports there. Bunch of different like supplies and whatnot, because these things were heavy. They were meant to go over trenches. That's why they had such weird design tracks. This is something, I mean, this tank is pretty heavy for being made out of Lego. It's a really clean design. I actually found the instructions on YouTube from a guy, I think Brian's Fitzgerald, or Brian's Bricks. If you look that up, Brian's Bricks Mark V tank instructions, I'm pretty sure there's a video on it, and I just followed along with that. So this is something I'm definitely going to keep for a while. It kind of goes with the A7V, so if I keep one, I got to keep the other, and I think it just looks really cool. And it took me a while to build this. It's a lot of parts on this guy. Moving up, we've got another designed, not vehicle, but artillery piece from Lego Guy 830, or my friend Elliot. This is a generic Flak 88. Really cool design. It is just so cool and really packed with detail. I mean, some of the parts on here are kind of crazy what he did with them. I don't know how he thinks of, you know, these connections and stuff like this. Really cool design. I talked to him about making this a kit, and I know a lot of you guys wanted me to make this a kit. Another great video to check out if you want to see a full video just on this. Link in the description of that. A couple parts are missing, like these should be dark bluish gray, but overall it looks really good. This is actually another one of my kits. This is the World War I field gun. This was kind of something I came out with when I did my Sinai Desert video. I knew in Battlefield 1 there's these field guns all over the place that you can shoot. You know, shoot tanks, shoot infantry, whatever. And I was like, we need to make this a kit. So this is actually a kit on my website. It's currently sold out. But once again, if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to that in the description. Pretty cool, basic little kit designed by my buddy Chetan. I believe Lego Guy 1359 is his username. And then we've got, this was actually given to me by another fan, another little German artillery piece. I think it's like a 4mm or centimeter gun, something small, but you know, a couple troops could carry this around and set it up wherever they wanted and try to take out tanks. So cool little infantry item there. Another World War I item for my Sinai Desert video, another kit actually. This is the World War I anti-aircraft gun. So this is the first prototype. That's why it's kind of falling apart. That's why the paint's not fully there. But it's a really cool and simple little kit. If you guys have ever played Battlefield 1, you definitely know and recognize this big barrel, this big magazine, these cranks, all that gold brass color. That's where that comes from. Another World War I British item, this was a kit. Once again, this is something that I might restock, is the World War I armored car. Rolls-Royce actually made these for the British soldiers and whatnot in the army at the time. So really cool. You know, it's got a machine gun turret here. It just looks cool. It's like, it's literally like a truck, but it's got a armored plating on it, and you know, it's got the machine gun on top, all that. I think that's really cool. Definitely a unique kit when I came out with it. I think I sold that for $55. So if you guys are interested, link to that in the description. Last couple items here. We've got a little, this is a modern military EOD bot. So basically like the bomb squad would send this in. They can extend the reach of this guy, take a look at something with a camera, or you know, they have little grippers that they can attach or drop off, you know, ordnance so they can explode them, you know, remotely and whatnot. So little tracks like that. I actually built this and designed this, so just something small like that. It's kind of cool. These are some Lego just generic dirt bikes that I actually painted. So these were just, this one's more of a modern military one, kind of from Battlefield 4. I remember taking a picture of this a while ago with a Battlefield 4 figure, because or not Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 actually. So that's kind of what this is from. I just wanted something cool that I could have some modern military figures posting behind. This one was just more of an old school bike. I don't really know what I was going for here, but I like the blue coloring on it. So that's kind of something I went for. You know, this is something I've always wanted to make more of, is custom like dirt bikes, and especially this one because it's more of a modern military. Like you could actually see someone using this to transport themselves and maybe a little bit of gear and supplies around like a modern day battlefield. So I don't know, let me know if you guys want me to do something with dirt bikes. I'd like to do like a battle pack or something. I'm not 100% sure what I would do, but it would be cool either way, because I would love to be able to, maybe instead of painting it, I could custom print on it, add a cool figure. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But basically, that is my World War II, Vietnam, World War I, modern military Lego custom vehicle collection. That's a mouthful. Basically, I've got a bunch of vehicles. I had more at, you know, times in my life. I just got to sell stuff to get new stuff. You know, sometimes you got to sell some to make not only, you know, room for it, but make money so you can build stuff like these custom ones and stuff like that. I mean, most of these kits are not cheap. If you go to some websites that sell these, they're not cheap. So it's not like a normal Lego set where something's $20 or $40. Most of these are hundreds of dollars a piece. And that's why when I make my own, like the armored car, for example, or the Panzerjäger, or the military Jeep, I try to make them affordable, or as least as affordable as I can. I still got to make money as a company, but I want to give you guys like a tank, for example, for under $100, being $95. So stuff like that I really try to push for. So I'm always trying to make new kits. Like I said, I just made a huge batch of 50 of these, and I'm thinking the next will be the Panzerjäger, or maybe even make a completely new kit like the Humvee or the Stuart tank. So let me know what you guys think of these kits. Let me know which one of these was your favorite in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see that. Out of all of these, which one would you guys like to have the most? And like I said, a couple of these are actually for sale on my website. That one is, those two are, I'm trying to think. The Wesp, I believe, is the I think that's it. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 that are on the website. So once again, I'll put links to the ones for sale in the description, and then I'll also put links to each one of the individual videos about each one of these. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I've done reviews on all of these, and if I haven't, I'll go ahead and put that on my to-do list so you guys can get a in-depth video of each and every one of these vehicles in its own separate video. I just wanted to do a quick overview, and I hope you guys enjoyed. This video is over 20 minutes long, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely leave a like. If you guys want me to do more styles of these videos, let me know in the comments down below. Check out some more videos right here and here. Make sure you guys subscribe by clicking right there, and I will see you guys in another video. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and I'll see you next time.